Hey guys, the purpose of this video is to show you how to use Screencastify. And if you don't know what Screencastify is, it's exactly what you're watching. I'm sharing my screen, it's recording my voice, and it will make this into a video that you can share with your students. So it's going to be perfect to use with BoardWorks or whatever other resources you're using within your class. So to get started, I want to know, I want you to see if you already have Screencastify installed onto your Google Chrome account. So if you're in Google Chrome and you see this icon here that's got an arrow with a little recorder in it, that means that you have it downloaded. Right now mine has a circle on it because I'm using it to record my screen. If you don't see that on your toolbar, but you do see a little puzzle piece, you can click that to see if you have it downloaded inside of your extensions there. If you don't see it there, that means you need to download it. So to get started, you're going to go to screencastify.com. You'll click Add to Chrome. And it's going to take you to the Chrome Web Store. And from here, you just want to click this Add to Chrome button and add extension. That little pop-up will appear. And then you can turn on your sync so it'll talk to it. If that pops up, it's not a big deal. But if you don't see the icon pop up on your toolbar and you see this little puzzle piece now, you can click on that and go down to where it says Screencastify. And you can click this little pin and it's going to automatically save that onto your toolbar every time so you don't have to go in there and actually search for it. So when you click on it the first time, it's going to open up a new tab and it's going to say, hey, you need to sign in with your Google account because it automatically saves your videos to your Google Drive. It's completely safe, so click sign in with Google and just follow all of the prompts that pop up on your screen. You want it to have access to your camera and your microphone, and you want to allow drawing and annotation tools. So click next and then click allow. And just go through all of the steps. And when you see the confetti falling, that means that you are signed in. You won't have to do that step every time that you use Screencastify. It's just that first time to get signed in. Now, the second time that you click on your extension, you're going to notice that it looks a little different. Instead of it opening up a Chrome tab with directions to sign in, you're already signed in. Franklin County Schools has purchased for us the unlimited package of Screencastify. So although this is my personal account and you're seeing something that says 5-minute limit per video, Franklin County school employees do not have to worry about that. You can make your videos be as long as you want or as short as you want. You have 3 different options here. The first one is Browser tab, and Browser tab will record anything that's on one tab. So for instance, if I go to my Google Drive and I was doing something from there, it would only record what's in here. And if I jump back to this tab, it will not record what's on my screen. It will stay inside of that one tab. The other option is desktop. If you click desktop, that means that it's going to be recording everything on your screen. Any tabs that you have open and you click on, it's following right along with you. If you minimize your screen, it's going to see what's ever behind it on your desktop or whatever. So that's usually the one that I use because I typically hop in between tabs whenever I'm doing recordings, and sometimes I'm getting pop-ups or whatever. You also want to see if you need your microphone turned on or not. So if your little bar is not jumping, that means that it's not picking up on your voice. So make sure that you have your microphone turned on and you click select and you pick which microphone it is that you want to use. And you want to make sure that it's jumping up and down when you're talking there to make sure that its microphone is working. You can embed a web camera. So if you do that, whenever you press record, it's going to pop up a little video of you down here in the bottom corner, and that way the students will be able to see mostly your screen, but a little bit of your face down here if you want that option. And then finally, you have the last option, which is your web camera only. So if you were working on a whiteboard behind you and you were recording that, you could use this. If you have a document camera hooked up, you can let the document camera be your webcam, and it could be watching you record on paper. That doesn't work on every type of document camera, so try it with yours before. If you want to pick your document camera though, make sure that you go to where it's got your camera and pick an external camera. So a lot of times that's not one that we use a whole lot, but I do like to make sure that everybody knows that's an option. Like I said before, I typically use the desktop one. I just find that it's easier to use and I don't have to accidentally make sure that I'm staying in that one tab or accidentally pop out. So that's it as far as your recording options. So when you press record, it's going to give you a countdown. Actually, before it gives you the countdown, it's going to ask you which screen you want to use. And it's actually over on my other screen right now. But you'll click on the screen and click share. It gives you the countdown. And as soon as you hear that ding, that means that it's recording. And you can see that you have the little icon here. And you could be doing whatever it is, what you want to see on your screen. So you can hop in between your tabs. You can go to Google Classroom if you want to, or wherever it is that you want to go. And when you get finished recording your video, you can click on the icon again, and you're going to have the ability to do a few things. This button deletes the video. If you hate it and you want to start back over from scratch, you can click the trash can and it will automatically delete it. It won't save it at all. This button restarts you from the beginning, so it won't it deletes it, but instead of having to click on the icon again, it will just automatically start a new recording after it gives you a countdown. This button pauses your recording, so you can pause it if you have to run to the restroom or something, or if your child's in the background screaming and you need to pause it for a second, you can do that. And then when you press play, it's just going to pick right up where you left off and still continue that recording. And then the last option is the stop button, and I'm going to click that. So the stop button will automatically take you
that it's recording
to the preview window. And the preview window is where you can watch the video to see if you like it or not. If you want to trim the edge, like if you got down here and you said, I don't like how long it was taking me to click on my tab, then you can trim that down by clicking the scissors and dragging that towards wherever it is that you want it to stop. And when you press save trim, it's going to replace the first video that you created. So that video is going to be saved directly into your Google Drive. Before you share it with students, I'm going to walk you through how to do that. Make sure that you click up here because it's going to have every single one of your videos be untitled. Make sure that you go in and you can title this whatever you want to title it, but that's going to help you so much the more detailed that you are with these videos, because next school year, if you're doing a similar project or assignment, then you can just reuse this video and you don't have to recreate the wheel every single time. So to get finished, you can come over here and you can click copy shareable link if you want to. That would be great if you were sending this in a remind message or to families, but not specifically inside of Google Classroom. And even if you share it in Google Classroom, you can still share it multiple ways. So copy a shareable link will automatically copy it. And when you share that link with people, press enter, it's going to automatically take them to that video. So that's really handy. Underneath that, you have share to classroom. And if you click share to classroom, it's going to open up your Google Classroom. You'll get to pick which class it is that you want to share that with. I'm not a teacher in any of these, so it's not going to let me make an assignment, but I'm going to just go here and I would just upload that as an assignment. So let me try again. Let me click this one. This is a class that I'm teaching in, so I'm going to click it and I will be able to choose an action. So the actions are create an assignment. If you want students to watch the video and then turn something in, you can click that one. You can ask a question to go along with the video. You can make an announcement. So this is typically what I would do if I was sharing a video but didn't want the students to actually do anything with it. Or you can create a material. I'm going to click create an assignment and click go. And then, make my screen bigger here. It's going to say share settings. You can choose how to share this with students. I'm going to click got it. Give your assignment a title. So if you're doing a Screencastify video, it's going to automatically title it what you titled your video. I like to give my assignments a number. And you can you can rename it. You don't have to keep it that. And down here, you can give it instructions just like you can with any other assignment. So I can say, watch this video and mark the assignment as done when it's completed. You could also have them attach other things to this assignment if you want to. If you're interested in learning more about how to do that, I'm going to link my introduction to Google Classroom into this session as well, so you can have that as a resource if you want to. You don't have to go in and make a copy for each student, because if you do, it's going to give each student a different copy of this video. But if you leave it as students can view the file, everybody's going to be able to view the video. You can go over here and assign it to certain students. You can give it different points, give it a due date, and add topics if you want to do that. Once you have everything set the way that you want, you're going to click assign. And don't forget, over beside of assign, you also have this schedule post. So if you click that, like if you're making this video at 2 o'clock in the morning because of insomnia, then you can schedule the assignment to pop up at a different time. But you can also just click assign and it will automatically post that into the classroom. If you're interested in seeing what it looks like, you can click the view button and it will take you to your Google Classroom directly to where your assignment will be. Okay. Underneath share to classroom, you do have publish to YouTube. That would be great if you had a longer video, because YouTube is created for video, whereas Google Drive was typically not. But it does work on Google Drive. But if the video looks a little blurry, you can try publish to YouTube if you want to do that. But you don't have to. There's some other options too, like get embed code and download and stuff, but you don't really have to worry about that. Really, the two that are the most important for virtual teaching is going to be that copy shareable link and that share to Google Classroom button. When you click on the icon again, it's going to take you and it's going to look exactly like what we did before. So you can make as many videos as you want to, how often. You can make them all at once or space them out. There's no limit. But up here at the top, you have a few different settings. If you click on this, it's going to take you to every single Screencastify recording that you've ever made on your account. If you click on the bell, that's notifications that Screencastify sends out. Sometimes they send out like little helpful books with tips and tricks in there, so that's pretty handy to know. And then the settings wheel, you can go in there and change any of that if you want to, but you really don't have to worry about that. Everything that it automatically sets to works perfectly for virtual learning. The 3 lines have a few other options as well, but you really don't have to worry about any of that, because the basics of Screencastify are all right there and will work flawlessly with your virtual learning experience. So one of the last things that I want to share with you is inside of your Google Drive, after you start creating videos, it's going to automatically make a folder for you. And that folder, you can right click on it and click share. Now, I know you don't want to share all of your videos with every single student. I totally get that. But nobody's going to be able to guess your Screencastify Google Drive folder URL because they're huge. So what I recommend is right clicking on that folder and going down to change to anyone with the link and click that. If you're on your Franklin County account, it's going to automatically, when you click on it the first time, say anyone at Franklin County Schools with the link can view. I would recommend clicking on it again and changing it to anyone with the link. That means that anytime that you share one video with your parents of the students that you are teaching, or the guardians, or the students themselves, you're not going to have to go in there and change every single video settings to this. You're just going to have to do this one time. You'll never have to think of it again. And you'll click done. And now notice that this folder has a little person on it. And every single video, when I share the link, I'm not going to have to go in here and make it be viewable. Whereas if I did not do that, sometimes I would get that request access. The last thing that I want to share with you is that Screencastify does have some keyboard shortcuts. And I wanted to highlight a few of those. And I'm going to include these on the notes page for you. But this stop recording and start recording shortcut is my go-to. So if you are on a PC or a Chromebook, you can hold down the Alt, Shift, and R button, and it's going to start your recording and stop your recording. So you hold down all three of those buttons at once, and it will automatically start or stop depending upon what you're previously doing. I also use this Alt-Shift-P all of the time for pausing my recording. And then the rest of these are really cool too, but those two are my favorite. You also have this focus spotlight on mouse, which is really awesome. So if I were to press it, it would automatically highlight my mouse. And I have the pen tool and all kinds of awesome things in there that you can play around with. So that's a quick and basic way of how to use Screencastify. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to help.